Thank you, Joe Biden, for today. Today was fantastic because I love it when I'm proven right. I love it when I do a show and then immediately I'm proven right, and it's not. Again, I'm obviously I'm no genius. Obviously, I'm just I spend a lot of time researching, paying attention, going through the data, figuring stuff out, and then coming to a conclusion that often happens to be right. And just like when it's confirmed so early in the morning, I mean, I barely opened my eyes and turned on the news, and there's Joe Biden proving me right. And so that was not just the only thing. I can see I'm all red. I'm not red. I'm red because I was out in the sun all day. I want to first, before I talk about how Joe Biden proved me right today, I want to talk about the Funk Bros. The Funk Bros is a very famous YouTube channel. The Funk Bros are two brothers, Corey and Capron. He's got a difficult name. So you got Corey and Capron Funk, who are the Funk Brothers. That's their real name. And they have a YouTube channel, and they have millions of followers. One video that I looked at the other day had 5 million views. These are huge guys. Anyway, their organization called me. They needed some help with the production of one of their videos. And so we went out and did that today with them. I'm going to be posting a video on my personal page that you'll see probably tomorrow at some point. About our day that we spent with the Funk Bros and the gang over there. Reason I want to give them a shout out because they are fantastic human beings. We had a great time. I took my 4 children, 4 of my younger children. I got 5 total, but 4 of the younger children, and then one of the neighbor kids over there, and they could not have been nicer to the kids and treated them like gold. And they were just so nice and spent time with them. And we got to swim in their pool, which is amazing. If you go to their YouTube channel and type in Funk Bros and look what they got going on, the kids got to play in the. They had a bunch of plastic balls that they put kind of like a McDonald's, the playground area where they have all the plastic balls, or at least they used to. They have that on their roof. They have a slide. They have anyway, yeah. You just have to go to their channel and find out what's going on. All right, let's get really quick to Joe Biden. And then I want to talk about Kayleigh, who is an amazing press secretary for the press secretary. That's what she's called? Gosh darn it, I may have given her the wrong name. Hold on, what's her name? She is known as is it the press secretary? American political commentator and author, currently serving as the 31st White House press secretary. Yes, she is amazing. Amazing. I'm going to play a video with her today that you may not have seen it because it was towards the end of the press conference that they had. And every time I watch her, she's more and more amazing. She's incredibly smart, understands the press, CNN, MSNBC, and how to work them and to really understand their evilness and how horrible they are. And so I'm going to play a little bit of that. And you are going to love it. I just know you are. It's going to be great. So, and very quickly, this is not going to be very long. This will be very short. But yesterday I was talking about how Joe Biden is not a candidate that even the Democrats, even the most passionate Democrats, Joe Biden is not somebody is somebody that they respect and love. I know they don't, because I know many Democrats, and not one of them has ever said, "Wow, we just love Joe Biden because he's so incredible. He speaks so well. He knows all the issues and knows how to respond. He would be incredible in any given situation, that he would be the guy that we look to save." None of that stuff is ever said. Now, the press, the media, they will say it, right? They'll say, "Wow, he's in the polls, he's leading, that he would have done so much better in the pandemic." Well, the problem is you have a guy that's actually dealing with everything in the entire United States, dealing with the bad press, dealing with, the governors that, are just morons. And we have the good governors who understand what this is really all about, and they're doing well, which is red states. Red states are doing great. Blue states are doing horribly. And then you have all this mixture. And then you have the media and the press that are saying, well, Donald Trump has done nothing but golf in this entire time, which of course everybody, even Democrats, know that's not true. And so you have a guy doing all this incredible work, and then you have a guy in the basement saying, well, I would have done a much better job. He's suggested nothing. He's done nothing. He's not shown that he has a plan for anything. All he has is criticism. And so you have this weirdness going on. But yesterday I was saying you have no Democrat that really even likes their candidate. They think that somehow he's going to be the guy that beats Trump, which is not going to happen, by the way. And then today he proves my point, because what I said is you have Trump who will be talking for sometimes 1 hour, 2 hours at a time, and they will find one little thing that they can lie about that he said and then skew it so it sounds really bad. So you have to listen to 2 hours of Donald Trump, being interviewed by CNN, MSNBC, all the people that hate him, New York Times, Washington Post, everybody that hates him. He doesn't have a problem standing up there and he points and he says, well, and he knows that it's going to be BS, right? He knows it's going to be a stupid question that has nothing to do with reality, has nothing to do with facts, but he does it anyway. But then in contrast, you have Joe Biden, who is in his bunker and only will be questioned by people that will throw him softballs, people that they try their best not to ask him anything that's going to cause him any problems. They do everything they can. They say, listen, here are the questions, probably ahead of time. Really try hard not to go off script. And they try, they're handling him like in such a way that they're just hoping he's not going to say anything. And he still blows it. That's what I said yesterday. What happened this morning? He says, if you don't vote for me, you're not black, right? If you don't... when I heard that he said that, I heard somebody like quoting it and said, no, like you don't have to make up quotes. And I was thinking, no, this has to be one that they made up. This has to be one where he didn't really say that. And then they played a tape, and sure enough, he says, if you don't vote for me, then you're not black. Right? Those are probably, I may be using the wrong words, but essentially that's what he said. If you're not voting for Biden, then you're not black, which is what an idiot. What a moron. Can you imagine? Oh, please, how many vacations did Obama? And really, I know, exactly. I laugh my ass off. You ain't black if you don't vote. You're oh, what a moron. And I said yesterday, and again, this is where I'm proven right? Trump comes in there, and the thing he's doing is exposing how stupid Democrat politicians are, not Democrat voters. Again, I want to make sure the distinction is you have people that are Democrats and they're trying so hard to be supportive of their party, but they have been handed a bag of BS, a bag of dog crap, right? So you've claimed to be a Democrat, you've voted Democrat, you've registered as Democrat, and as I feel sorry for Democratic voters. I feel sorry for my friends who are Democrat. They're trying so hard to just call me names and call me, a baby killer and a Nazi and all these kind of things, because they're trying so hard to support their party, but that's the only thing they have. They can't say, well, Biden's way better because he does this and he has this and he has this. No, well, he's plagiarized. He's lied about his education. He's lied about how many degrees he has. He lied about where he graduated. He lied in several speeches that, he just gave speeches, but didn't give any credit to the people who actually wrote the speech. He's lied about a whole ton of, daily he lies. I think it's one of those things. He can't get out of his own way. And so we talked about that yesterday. And then, and then today he says that, that if you don't vote for me, you're not black. And then later on, he comes on, he goes, well, I was just joking. Oh, it doesn't matter that you were joking, right? I could come on here and say that he's creepy, right? And he's creepy. That is true. He is creepy. And then I wake up this morning to be supported by everything I said yesterday. Everything I said yesterday about Biden, how he's just not somebody that, there's nobody that I know that's a Democrat voter who can just say, he's a great guy. They know he's creepy. They know he's a liar. They know he plagiarizes. They know that he can't get out of his own way. And they know that he's losing his mind. Right? They know that. It's unfortunate. That part of it is the only thing that I feel bad about, that they keep propping this guy up and pushing him out there. And his wife, who, has a doctor before her name, she's not like a real doctor, but, that she's not, at some point the wife has to step in and say, you know what, guys, he can't do this. I have to live with him every day. I know that he's not all there, and we have to stop pretending that he is. And we keep pushing him out there. We keep doing this, and he can't get through 5 minutes of an interview without saying something stupid. And today, he proved my point. He did in one statement. He proved almost everything that I said yesterday. I mean, of course, he didn't talk about California, all that kind of stuff. But when I talked about that, this is why I know Donald Trump will win California, is because of this. Because at some point, I really got to believe Democratic voters at some point will see that media has been lying to them, and their Democratic leadership, Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, Schumer, all of the players, right, think they're fools. And at some point, the Democrat voters have to finally say, okay, I'm tired of the leadership treating me as if I'm a fool, that they've pushed this guy who can't get out of his own way, who can't say 5 minutes of anything without saying something stupid. And now, the black voters are saying, now he says, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. And whether that's racist or not, right? We have people coming on TV saying that's totally racist, all that kind of stuff. I could jump on that bandwagon too and say that. The thing is, what I'm trying to tell you more than anything else is that he's just a foolish man who doesn't know what he's doing. And he's not smart. He's never been smart. He's never been anything. He's a braggart, and he has to blow up his credentials in order for you to believe that he's bigger than he is, and he's not. And he's just plain old stupid. He has a son, working for, getting $1 billion from China. He's also getting paid by Ukraine. He gets the prosecutor in Ukraine fired because the prosecutor's investigating the company that his son is working for. And they want you to believe, again, this is where they're thinking that you, the Democratic voter, are stupid and foolish. They want you to believe that there is nothing to see there, that's all. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? My son's working for Ukraine, this oligarch, and I happen to get the prosecutor fired that's investigating him. And that's just all a coincidence. Even though today a new tape has been released where you can hear Biden talking to the president of Ukraine, and the president's contacting Biden saying, okay, we took care of firing him. Even though he's not corrupt. This is what the president tells Biden, and Biden goes, thank you for doing that. In other words, the quid pro quo that really happened was between Biden and the president of Ukraine to fire the prosecutor. There's a new tape coming out. If you haven't heard it, it's out. It's been transcribed. You can hear about it yourself. And so where I'm coming from, I could call him, I can say what he said today was racist. That's easy to do, but that's really not my point. I could say that he's a plagiarist, and because we know that he's been called on that several times, not just once. Do it once and it can be an accident. Do it twice, it may be an accident. Do it 3 or 4 times, you're done. You can't. You're so stupid. You're so dumb that you can't write your own speech. You can't hire, right, which most people do. You can't hire somebody to write you a brand new speech and not steal it from somebody, right? You're so stupid you couldn't hire somebody to do that for you. There's so many things that when you look at as a Democratic voter that you just say, okay, enough. I cannot continue to be lied to the media to tell me something that now I know it's a lie, right? The Steele dossier is a lie. The Russian investigation was a lie. The impeachment was a lie, and totally made up by everybody in the leadership power. And the voter at some point, not all of them. There's going to be some that just hate Donald Trump so much that they're just going to ignore it all. But at some point, there's going to be a large number of people that finally say, you know what? All right. I've had enough of being lied at. And today was another one of those examples of what I told you yesterday, that Biden is a lunatic, and he's crazy, and he doesn't know what he says. And what he said today has nothing to do with him losing his mind. He's just stupid, right? He's just completely dumb. And we were able to see that day. You don't say that on a black radio station and say, if you don't vote for me, then you obviously are not black, right? Can you imagine Donald Trump saying something like, if you don't vote for me, then you're not white? What would happen in the media, in the world, in Hollywood, on The View? What's her name? What's the girl's name on The View? The crazy redhead lunatic lady chick. What's her name? Joy. Talk about somebody without joy. Talk about somebody that's misnamed. There's nothing joyful about joy, right? Could you imagine if Trump got on a radio station being interviewed and he said, okay, if you don't vote for me, we're going to attack China, we're going to attack Mexico, and then if you don't vote for me, you're not white, right? What would happen to the internets and the media if Donald Trump said, if you don't vote for me, you are not white? What would happen? I want you to kind of let that sink in. What craziness would occur if something like that happened. It would be crazy. It would be wild. But Biden, but to the media, he said, "Oh, he was just kidding. He was just kidding. It's not that big of a deal that he said that. Don't worry about it." Right? That's what they're saying right now. All right, so that's enough. And I just wanted to come on and say how happy I am. How happy I was when I woke up this morning, and then the day continued to be a very successful day. All right. So the next thing, I just want to bring your attention to Kayleigh. She's an amazing press secretary, incredible. And you can't say enough about people that are just so smart in being able to field a question. And the whole reason I feel so strongly about how fantastic he is, because she is. And again, my assistant hates when I do this, but I'm going to tell you anyway, that I testify in court cases where I get hammered with question after question after question. I don't know what the questions are going to be. I know what the questions sometimes are going to be from the attorney I'm working for, but I never know what they're going to be from the opposing attorney. And when the opposing attorney starts hitting me with questions, I have to come up with an answer. And the easiest thing to do is to tell the truth, right? That there's nothing that's going to go wrong if you tell the truth, because even if I tell the truth and it doesn't help the client, it's not a reflection on me. The reflection on me is this is a guy that has integrity. He tells the truth, and it's easy. It's easy to tell the truth. It's complicated to lie because you have to remember that lie on follow-up questions. The people that you see that's not easy for are people like Adam Schiff, because he lies so much. He's all over the place when you hear him on interviews, and when you hear him in Congress, you do a bunch of stuff. He's kind of like mixed up and confused, and he sounds confused and sounds mixed up. But when you tell the truth, it's very easy, right, to be effective and then to be taken seriously. Kayleigh, and I always forget her last name. What's her last name? Mcenany. Wow, that's hard to say. McKinney? Oh, there it is. Kayleigh Mcenany. I think that's the way you say it. There's two N's, so I'm not sure how you get the two N's in there. McKinney. But anyway, Kayleigh is amazing. So I'm going to play this video of her. And again, I think there's many people who didn't get to see it, but I thought it was the best part of the press conference, because all the other stuff was just BS. Why are they opening churches? And why are they're going to kill people if they open up churches? Well, no, if you open up churches and then people do what they've been doing, they follow the, 6 feet separation, they wear a mask, and all of that was the dumbest press conference I ever heard. I can't believe they're opening churches. People are going to die, but go to Costco, go to marijuana dispensaries, go to all these other things. You're fine. You won't die if you go to these things. You go to church, you're going to die. And so that's I'm kind of paraphrasing the other part of the press conference. But here we have Kayleigh comes on and she gets asked this question. You are going to love it if you missed it. Here we go. Playing this right now. Oops, I'm going to get rid of this lower third. Stand by. And here we go. Listen up.
Something that is a good thing, and I'm thankful that we have a president who celebrates the First Amendment and helps it to be celebrated in its fullest and most robust way possible.
Thank you, Kayleigh. I'd like to switch gears, asking about President Obama. We had we had an interesting article from Joel Pollack this morning, and I would like to ask you if the president has considered pardoning President Obama for illegally wiretapping on Trump towers, illegally spying on U.S. citizens, and other potential crimes out there. Has he considered that?
So I have not spoken to the president about that. Who I did speak to about President Obama and unmasking Michael Flynn were the men and women in this room. I haven't spoken to him on that specific point, have spoken to him about the matter generally. And I laid out a series of questions that any good journalist would want to answer about why people were unmasked and all sorts of questions. And I just wanted to follow up with you guys on that. Did anyone take it upon themselves to pose any questions about Michael Flynn and unmasking the President Obama spokesperson? Oh, not a single journalist has posed that question. Okay. So I would like to lay out a series of questions, and perhaps if I write them out in a slide format, maybe we're visual learners and you guys will follow up with journalistic curiosity. So number one, why did the Obama administration use opposition research funded by a political organization and filled with foreign dirt to surveil members of the Trump campaign? Number two, why was Lieutenant General Michael Flynn unmasked? Not by the intel community entirely, but by Obama's chief of staff, by the former Vice President Joe Biden, by Susan Rice, by the Treasury Secretary. I mean, this is extraordinary. And, you know, if there were political appointees in the Trump administration, I can guarantee you I'd have questions in my inbox right now, but apparently Obama's spokesperson does not. Why was Flynn's identity leaked? In a criminal act. It is a criminal act to leak the identity of Michael Flynn to the press, but it happened. Where are the questions to Obama's spokesperson? Because my team would be running around this building should this have happened under the Trump administration. Why did the DOJ, Sally Yates, learn about the unmasking from President Obama? So much for going by the book, as Susan Rice said 3 times. Thou doth protest too much, Susan Rice. And then finally, question number 5. Why did James Clapper, John Brennan, Samantha Power, and Susan Rice privately admit under oath they had no evidence of collusion while saying the opposite publicly? It's a long weekend. You guys have 3 days to follow up on those questions, and I certainly hope the next time I ask, some hands go up, because Obama's spokesperson should be asked those questions, because President Trump's spokespeople certainly would be.
Was that not the best? Man, I got tears in my eyes that she is amazing, that she turns it around on them and tells them that these are questions that you should be asking, but not of me. And then walks off and leaves them. And the guys go, but what? They're trying to, what? But wait a minute. But he was not unmasked. Now, number one, he was not, General Flynn was not unmasked for the December 29th call, the one where he's accused of lying. They didn't unmask him for that. They unmasked him for a bunch of other stuff, right? People happen to know that he was on these other phone calls before and after, but the one call that was not unmasked was the one for the December 29th phone call, where he supposedly, which he did not, now that we have transcripts and understanding what was going on in that call, that he was not asked about the thing that they claimed that he lied about. That did not happen. And so that was amazing. That happened, I believe, today, earlier today. And again, it was towards the end of the press conference. So I'm guessing because some people will stand for a little while and then they tune out when she comes on and does her magic. She is the best at walking off at a high, right? She knows she's incredible. I don't know if she was trained to do that. I'm not sure if that's some strategy now, but it doesn't matter because she does it well. However it happened, she is incredible. And I'm going to see this. April says right here, she is a beautiful badass with an excellent hire for Trump administration. She was totally amazing. McEnany. There you go. I can say it now. McEnany. I guess I'm figuring out how do you have your own CBD farm? No, I don't have my own CBD farm, but I do have a great company called Today's CBD Oil, which is Viseo-based CBD. Yes, son. And it has liposome technology, which allows the ingredients to get in the molecules of CBD, the nutrients of CBD. It makes them smaller and allows them to get into your bloodstream. But Today's CBD Oil is the best CBD oil product on the market. Thank you for asking. It's probably not what you intended, but I did it anyway. Hey, Nabucco from Japan. Nice to see you. Nice. Mom has neurological pain. So I would go to todayscbdoil.com and order some. You can return an empty bottle if it doesn't have any effect. It doesn't help. I would say that there's a really good chance that it would help with some of the pain and discomfort. We also have a cream with CBD1 that you put on the outside. You have a cream that goes on the outside. So if you have, pain and discomfort, which I point to my shoulder because that's where my pain and discomfort is, and on the back of my neck. Some people have it in their hands, which is really painful. You have the cream that goes on the outside, and then you have the oil that you take. So here's the cream. I thought I had the oil here somewhere, but here's the cream. It's in a container like this, and you just open it up. And you take the cream out. Oop, there's the goop, right? And then you just rub that. It smells great. It feels great. It has like a nice little heat and kind of warms up that area. And it's fantastic. And then you take the oil orally. And so I do both. And so you might want to go to todayscbdoil.com, order it, give it a try. If it doesn't work for you, you can return an empty container after, I think it's 30 days or like around 30 days. And that would be very helpful to you. If you go to todaysviseo.com, we have other products that are wellness products that you might want to go to and try some of those. Renew is another one for inflammation. You have V Slim, to help lose weight. You have V3, which is helps you with energy. You have Detox, which helps you detox your body, and Eternal, which is an amazing product, great for your skin, great for everything else that's going on in your body, bringing you homeostasis. I thought I had my Core Complete. You have Core Complete vitamins that I thought I had a package here that I don't. It's a 4 or 5 package container, or a little package of 4 or 5 vitamin pills. I don't have all the ingredients there, but you might want to try some of those too. Get an entire package and take them for a month and see what happens, and you'll do fantastic. All right. So thank you for asking. I really do appreciate that. I'm not sure who that was, because on Twitter you have those handles and you have no idea, who's actually asking you those questions. You're welcome, Mitch. Mitch. Hey, Robin, nice to see you. What happening, Dr. Falk? Hey, what's happening? Nice to see you. And let's see, were there any other comments on here that I should put up before I get out of here? It's just been such a great day that I can't even tell you. And don't they all look healthy? I know. I look at these backwards and sometimes I don't know what you're talking about. So sorry. I like what you said yesterday. People are so proud. Yeah. So we are so proud. Like, I'm proud to be a Trump supporter. And now it's even easier to go out. There's a lot of people that I know, they're proud to be a Trump supporter, but when they say that on their social media, they get called, all the names that I get called. Again, I'll go through those names. I've been called Nazi. I've been called a child killer. I've been told that I'm a horrible parent because I teach my children about conservative values and about God and the Second Amendment and the First Amendment. I'm a horrible parent because I want to make sure my children understand what those things are. I've been called a mother effer. I've been called an a-hole. I've been called a whole bunch of, a lemming, right? So my handle apparently is Lemming. So I've changed my lower third so that my name is Andy, aka Lemming. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of being a deplorable. I'm proud of being a lemming. I'm proud of all those things, because if that's what it means to be somebody that tells the truth and is honest with my family and honest with my audience when I talk about these things, then that's exactly what I am. I will take that. We will change the meaning to mean somebody that supports the truth, the Second Amendment. I support a healthy California, not a toxic California with illegal aliens, with lost businesses, homelessness, lawlessness, train to nowhere, high taxes, poor schools, bankrupt state, and releasing of convicted prisoners. If you are a Democrat in California, there is no doubt that these are the things that you have to be for. This is what their platform is. You can say that it's not, you can step around it, but I can show you every aspect of their platform is this, as opposed to tax cuts, no sanctuary laws, enforced laws, infrastructure, improvements, border laws, and business friendly. That is a Republican California that I'm going for here in 2020, that we're going to turn this state back to red where it should be, and move all these morons like Schiff and Pelosi. Man, it would be great to see Pelosi out of office. Newsom, which is a moron. There's some great videos out there. I haven't posted them yet because they sound, the production level sounds more like it's just not what I want to put out there, where they talk about the connection between the Pelosi's and the Newsoms and the Gettys. And there's a video all about that and how they're all interconnected, the Browns, and that they've ruled California over the last 20, 30 years, other than when Reagan came in and maybe a little bit of Schwarzenegger, but then that's a little iffy too. But you have these Newsoms and Pelosi's and all these people that have really been connected to Gettys on destroying California only for their own self purposes. It's a good video, but again, the way that it's produced kind of causes me just to be uncomfortable that I would put it up there. But anyway, back to the show is that I'm just thankful for Joe Biden came on immediately this morning and just proved everything I said yesterday to be right. And it's so awesome when that happens. It's amazing. And then Kayleigh, I just want to give her props for being an amazing press secretary for the President of the United States. She's doing an amazing job. Anytime I see that she's been at the podium, I listen, because at some point she is going to destroy somebody in the liberal media. Again, I want to finish off one more time by saying this. I separate Democratic voters, not all of them, because some of them are morons, but most Democratic voters are are people that I love and I know, and I'm just hoping someday they will understand that at some point they have to just take a stand and just realize they're being lied to, and then just say, we're tired of it. And then you have the others. You have Democratic leadership, you got the liberal media, and then you got the lunatics like AOC and the other chick, I forget her name. They're just crazy people. They're just not on the same planet as the rest of us Americans. You have Americans, and then you have everybody else. All right, so that's it. I hope that I didn't didn't lose anybody here, but I just thought it was worthwhile coming on and just kind of gloat a little bit and say how happy I was that, again, I was proven right. And I appreciate that. All right. I have a show coming up that I'm planning on doing, and that is that Cuomo probably needs to be arrested for manslaughter, probably not murder. I don't believe that he intended to murder all the senior citizens he moved into the nursing home, but he needs to at least be tried and convicted for manslaughter. And that show is probably what I'll be. It's either going to be tomorrow or Sunday. It's probably not a good show for Sunday, but then again, might as well come on and tell the truth on a Sunday. But we'll be talking about why Cuomo should be arrested for manslaughter, because he's an idiot too. He's a moron. All right, that's it. I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.